All right, so the chaos of the Tadaka forest is behind us. The roars have finally gone quiet, and Ram has, passed his first major test with flying colors. But what's coming up next isn't just another battle. Oh no, it's a moment that's going to become absolutely legendary. Let's find out what happens.
This right here, this is the core of what we're talking about today. It's not just some simple contest for a princess's hand in marriage. It's way bigger than that. We're talking about a divine weapon, a promise that seems impossible to keep, and a connection that happens without a single word being spoken. It's a convergence of destiny.
So, leaving that dangerous, wild Tadka forest behind, the whole vibe starts to change. As they travel north with Vishwamitra, Ram and Lakshman see the landscape totally transform. Gone are the dark woods, and in their place, we see these beautiful, open, lush green fields, neat paths, everything's thriving. This peaceful, orderly place, this is the kingdom of Mithila.
And Mithila is really a mirror of its king, Janaka. He's known far and wide not just for being a king, but for being this incredibly wise, almost sage-like figure. I mean, picture this. A ruler who's got all the power of a throne, but inside, he has the calm, detached spirit of a hermit. That's King Janaka for you.
Okay, so to really get why Janaka makes this incredible vow, you first have to understand where his daughter Sita comes from, because it's a divine story. As Vishwamitra tells the princes, Janaka didn't have Sita by birth. He found her. He was plowing a field for a ceremony, and his plow hit something, and right there, from the furrow in the earth, a baby girl appeared, glowing with this golden light. He named her Sita, which means furrow, and from then on, everyone knew her as the Bubi Duhita, the daughter of the earth.
And right there, that's Janaka's big challenge, isn't it? It's a question that's been on his mind for years. How in the world do you find a husband for a daughter who is literally a gift from the earth? No ordinary prince is going to cut it, no matter how rich or powerful he is. It just wouldn't be right. Janaka knew he needed a test, something that would prove not just strength, but extraordinary character. And that brings us to the heart of this whole episode. Janaka's solution was to come up with a challenge so massive, so completely impossible sounding, that it would weed out everyone except for the one truly exceptional person. And the tool for this test? A legendary, divine bow.
I mean, the scale of this thing is just mind-boggling. This wasn't just some big, heavy bow. This was the personal weapon of Lord Shiva himself. A divine artifact, just buzzing with power. The story said it was so heavy, so impossible to move, that even powerful gods and demons had tried and failed to even lift it, let alone use it. So Janaka's vow was straightforward and totally non-negotiable. The only man who could lift this bow and string it, he would be the one to marry Sita.
And this wasn't some new idea he just cooked up. Nope. For years, princes and kings from all over had shown up in Mithila, puffing out their chests, full of pride, and for years, every single one of them failed, miserably. We're talking, the bow didn't even move an inch. A lot of them went home with more than just a bruised ego. They were physically hurt from trying. So all these failures just built up the legend of the bow. And into this whole scene walks Ram. But he's not there like the others, all arrogant and trying to win a prize. He's just a humble student, following his guru.
But before we get to the big test of strength, something else is about to happen. Something much quieter, but maybe even more important. A moment of connection that's about to unfold right there in Mithila.
So, inside the palace, Sita is in the gardens with her friends. She's always been a huge devotee of Lord Shiva, the bow's original owner, and when she hears the whispers that the great sage Vishwamitra has arrived with two handsome young princes, she just feels it. She senses that this is a turning point. The day to test the great bow and to test her own destiny. It's finally here. She's fully aware of the vow and the long, long line of failures. So, what does she do? She turns to her faith. She says a simple but really powerful prayer in her heart. She's not asking for a rich king or a powerful ruler. She's just asking for a worthy partner and for her honor to be protected, because it's all tied up in this impossible task.
And then it happens, just like that. Ram is walking through the city with his guru, and Sita happens to look out from a palace balcony. And for just a split second, their eyes meet. Across the distance, no words, no waving, nothing. Just a silent, deep moment of recognition.
It's like a quiet little ping between them, an unspoken understanding that something important has just happened. Two energies have just met. So, as the sun starts to set, you can just feel the energy in Mithila. It's electric. The official announcement goes out. Tomorrow, the great bow of Shiva will be brought into the main hall. The final test is about to begin.
And the whole city is just buzzing, right? But it's this weird mix of feelings. On one hand, yeah, there's a ton of excitement. It's a huge event. But then there's just as much doubt. I mean, they've seen so many kings fail before. Why would this be any different? And yet, underneath all that, there's this tiny little spark of hope. Maybe, just maybe, this time is the time.
And the way the two brothers are handling this is so interesting. You've got Lakshman, who's all energy and curiosity, totally hyped about seeing this legendary bow. But Ram, he's completely calm, detached even. His mind isn't on winning a prize or showing off how strong he is. His answer is all about duty and fate. He just says, look, if it's meant to happen, it'll happen.
Now, if we step back from the epic story of gods and kings for a second, there's a really powerful lesson in here for all of us, especially when it comes to figuring out what makes for a really strong relationship.
See, Janak's test, it was never just about raw strength. Lifting that bow was a symbol for two really crucial things. First, capability. The real strength, physical and mental, to handle whatever life throws at you. And second, character. The humility to have all that power and not let it go to your head. Ram, well, he was the perfect blend of both.
Now think about that for today. It's so easy to get caught up in the external stuff, right? Wealth, job titles, how someone looks. But Janak's way of thinking points to something much, much deeper. He was looking for what was on the inside, real capability and a solid character. He wasn't looking for a flashy, superficial match. He wanted a stable, lasting partnership built on something real.
And that's really the big idea here. The whole vow was a powerful symbol. For someone as grounded and special as Sita, the daughter of the earth, her partner had to be just as stable, just as strong, just as centered. That combination of true strength and genuine humility, that's the foundation for any relationship that's built to last.
So the stage is set. Everything's ready. Sita is in the palace, deep in prayer, and Ram is just waiting calmly with his guru. And tomorrow, all of that arrogant strength is finally going to come face to face with humble power. What happens then? Well, that's what we'll get into next time. We're going to see what happens when pride confronts true, quiet strength. You won't want to miss it.